Hey guys, welcome. Welcome aboard if you are brand new. Welcome back if you're not, and welcome home if you are a member of that particular tribe here. Today I want to do a pretty quick reading. It seems fairly simple, and what I'm being asked to speak on today is what blessing do you need to know about? What blessing do you have in your awareness, but you perhaps are not utilizing it to its fullest potential? Or what is sitting in your pocket that you have not yet activated? So this is about your blessing. We're going to do just a quick 3 piles. We're going to talk about your current situation, the blessing itself, and how that might be in action for you. So let's check it out and see what your choosers are. Oh, you have 2. My. Very similar. You have the womb and the cave. Okay, those feel fairly similar. Alrighty. You have, Aletheia. Alrighty. And you have the stone. So take a minute. This will be pile 1. This will be pile 2. This will be pile 3. Here's the deal. See which of these resonate the most deeply for you. Remembering that this is a general reading. And so sometimes the specifics will not be accurate for you. Here's the thing, that's okay. Don't shove it. Don't try and force it to fit. Just take what's present for you. Leave the rest. This is that place where your intuition comes as part of the magic, right? So whatever you feel most drawn to, whatever speaks most to you, feel free to listen to that pile. But also feel free to listen to 2 or all of the messages. There could be something in any or all of these just for you. So I'm going to be quiet for just a minute and let you take this in, remembering that there are timestamps. So see what you feel. All right, pile number 1. You have chosen the pile of the womb and the cave. I find this really interesting, this double pairing here, mostly because these are really related. The womb is very much a feminine energy, right? This is an energy of internal truth. This is an energy of nurturing, right? This is an energy of origins, right? Perhaps an origin story that is beyond your conscious choosing, beyond your conscious writing. But yet something that gets you exactly where you need to be, right? The beginnings, right? The warmth, the nurturing, the loving, the way that you were nurtured, the way that you nurture yourself. And then we have the cave, which this is about power and claiming your power, right? And so this is a card of initiation. Right? Both are kind of inceptions, but this is the unconscious, the subconscious initiation, and the cave is your conscious choosing, right? So this is the way that you step in and claim yourself, right? So this is the creation of self, and this is the way you claim it. So as we are looking for your blessing, right? Like I said, I wanted to talk about your current situation, and then what that blessing is and what it might mean. So let's have this conversation. If this is your past and current situation, what we're talking about is very evident, right? So this is the way that you are refusing to move forward, the way that you keep looking behind you, expecting some kind of closure to present itself to you instead of taking the next step and creating your own closure, right? So the way that you're expecting to be nurtured, the way that you're expecting to be loved, okay, I see you. Well, no. The way that you believe that you should be loved is out of line. And the reason I believe that it's out of line is because your expectation does not meet with your own claiming of the way that you wish to be treated, the way that you wish to be loved, the way that you wish to be embraced or appreciated or celebrated, right? And the thing is, other people can only meet us, right, as deeply as we've met ourselves. And so I think, well, I don't think, what you're being asked to do, wow, thank you, pile number 1, is to create your own nurturing, right? So even if this is uncomfortable, right, your blessing here is how you embrace life, right? Your blessing here is the Six of Wands, which is victory, and the Queen of Wands, which is how you fiercely and ferociously embrace your life and your journey. The key here is that if you're expecting validation from an external source, which is what this past and current messaging is all about, right? You're looking for justice. And the thing that's keeping you from this new beginning is the fact that you keep looking behind you. Oh, but this happened. Oh, but this happened. Oh, but this happened. Oh, but I have this place in my past, right? I have this place where I had a loss. I have this place where I experienced something that was out of line with how I wanted to feel, how I wanted it to go, how I wanted to experience a thing. So your blessing, pile number 1, is very simply to fiercely and ferociously claim your own happiness, your own nurturing. The way that plays out for you is that after you do this internal work, not only do you have the presentation, I mean, come on, you have the Page of Cups and the Ace of Cups, both of which are a gift, right? These are both things that say, how would you like to feel? Let me show you a brand new way to feel. Right? You may have experienced this loss in the past. You may have waited for some kind of justice or karma to happen on your behalf. But the key is you're the one that has to claim it. You're the one that has to claim it, right? This Queen says, there is no passion that is not your passion. There is no inspiration that is not your inspiration. There is no devotion that doesn't begin with your devotion to self. That is your victory. To claim your own emotional state, even when it's hard, right? So you have the Hermit here to remind you that internal work, it might not be the most comfortable, but you have this same form in all of these cards, right? The lamp sort of reflects this cup, right? And if we look at this as a flame, right, this is full. These are full cups as opposed to this this spilt cup feeling that you're having, right? We can't isolate. We can't claim our own loss, our own betrayal. We can't hide from our light and expect something to come in for us. So your blessing is your ability to shift, instead of shifting the blame, right? Shift the claim. So shift the claim to that place where you are in your power, where you are your own source of nurturing, where you are in this full faith experience of life, right? Especially when it's hard. It doesn't matter how hard it is. It doesn't even matter whether you witness justice as being done. That does not matter. What matters is that you reclaim your power. right? So, yeah. And then you have this overabundance of joy, this overabundance of contentment that's waiting for you up here. It's waiting, right? These two cups are literally waiting for you while you sit there and stare at those three. Oh, what happened? Oh, no. What went wrong? What did I do? What did they do? What did I say? What did they say? Guess what? None of that matters. Claim your power, claim your victory, claim your heart, claim your life, claim your soul, right? Claim your beginning, claim your origin story, right? This is about your origin story here, that womb, the way that you become as the part of your inception. This is the place where you claim your power, right? It's no secret that we have these in reflection here, that egg energy, right? That inception energy, that power energy, right? We see them reflected here in all of these cards. That source, right? Even when it's hard, especially when it's hard, find the way to come into, look at here. You have the snake wrapped around her eggs, right? Again, nurturing and inception. We have a butterfly, chrysalis, all about potential and inception, right? These are choices. Again, we witness. How do we claim our power? We have to break from the inside out. It doesn't matter what happens to you. It only matters what you choose for yourself, right? The way that you open to your experience, the way you open to your experiences, right? And then, so your blessing is your own inner awareness of where you must claim your power, especially when it's hard. So pile number 1, the womb and the cave, right? This is your opportunity. Your opportunity is your blessing, and your blessing is your opportunity. The way that you reinvent yourself is your blessing. And what comes next is this glorious opening here, this beautiful outpouring of emotional opportunity, of satisfaction, of contentment, of bliss, of joy, right? And everything that follows from that, right? So, happy claiming your power. Pile number 1. Do that work, right? Do that work to find what's inside the chrysalis, what's inside the egg, and then nurture it. And then as you expose it to the world, as you expose yourself to the world, witness how much power you have in your, in the way that you emit your light, right? And see what that gets you in return. I love it. Pile number 1. Hit that subscribe button and come back and tell me how that works out for you. Yeah, big blessings. That's an amazing blessing for you. Take care. Hey, pile number 2. Those of you who have chosen Aletheia. So let's talk about this word, shall we? So Aletheia is translated as the word for truth, disclosure, openness, right? A revelation. It comes in as kind of an evidence, right? The opposite, I think, is always important, right? Because this is Aletheia. And so we want to talk about Letheia, right? Which means oblivion and forgetfulness. And so this is, I think, very important when we're talking about a blessing, right? Because always when we're talking about a blessing, what we want to witness is perhaps what's the opposite, right? What is the curse? As well, so that we understand where we've been and we can understand where we're going. Since every path has its, let's call it, well, okay then, I guess we'll just take them both. Every path has its forks, right? And so sometimes we get on one path and sometimes we get on the other. So let's have this conversation. If Aletheia is about truth and inspiration and clarity, and here we have, okay, we've got the Lovers, we've got the Seven of Wands, we've got the Four of Pentacles, and the Six of Wands. Now, pile number 1 also had the Six of Wands, so there may be a message in that pile for you if that works for you. So this is about choices. So you're currently kind of in choice. And the key here is, where are you holding back? Where are you not making a choice because you feel like you might make the wrong one? And so what is holding you back in terms of, wow, okay, in terms of the ways that you want to sit on your truth? You perhaps want to avoid looking at your truth, or you want to avoid expressing your truth because you feel like it will be too hard to defend, right? If you just keep it cloistered, if you just keep it hidden, that makes your life easier. The blessing that's coming in for you, though, and I'm going to say again, check out pile number 1 because we have a dual recurrence here so far. So there may be messages for you there as well. So what is coming? Your blessing is going to be something sudden and shocking in terms of a revelation, right, for you. Something that allows you to witness startling clarity all at once, right? And I do have my own personal belief that enlightenment has to come in fits and starts. It has to come in pieces, because if we were to witness the whole truth all at once, I think sometimes that's overwhelming, right? There is a beautiful concept, though, about the contagiousness of truth and how truth lights fires, right, around you. we can't avoid that one. The truth lights fires around you. And so if this is about speaking a truth that you have perhaps previously held close because you were afraid of how it might seem or how it might sound or what may become part of your experience if you make that disclosure, right? The key here is that this is a step forward to the rest of your experience, to the rest of your perhaps even purpose, right? So if you're looking for a purpose and you have a little thing in your pocket that you've been holding on to, pile number 2, perhaps there's going to be something that comes into your experience or awareness, or even something that you just perhaps randomly come across that requires you to be in claim of whatever it is that that is coming in for you. Wow. And so what's coming as a result of you sharing this piece of yourself that has been previously undisclosed, that you have very through choice kept hidden, wow, is all good things here. Yeah, so this is about an end to suffering. This is about wow. So the choice that you're making, pile number 2, is about that highest choice. It's about that highest choosing. And it might really feel scary. It might feel like you're stepping out into something that is terrifying. But guess what? What you're really going to be doing is putting something away that has created a cycle of pain for you, that has created a place on your timeline where you can no longer sustain the hidden within you, right? And so this choice, this 2 of Wands indicates this very strong choice based on this awareness. And the options here are not really options, right? Because in this, you know what, I want one card to clarify that Ten of Swords, because the options here are to take the road of disclosure and create something new, right? Witness your own great balancing as you relieve yourself of this burden, this internal burden, right? When you tell your truth, when you reveal what is within you, when you remember, right? Reinform. And perhaps even step out of the shadows and refuse to be gaslit anymore, right? And then what happens as a result is that you have this place of emotional contentment on one hand, and then on this hand you have the untenable position of holding on to it. Right, okay. And so the clarity there is the Ace of Pentacles. And so no matter what, you will be presented with this new opportunity, this healing opportunity, right? So you will either step into this healed energy, or you will be shown the way to heal, right? From this sudden revelation that happens to and through you. It will bring this new state of healing. So either way, right, we're coming into this state of great balancing for you. This may be a challenging path for you. This may feel like a blessing that isn't so easy to claim. But just like truth, the truth can't be ignored forever, right? And no matter how you try to ignore it, right? No matter how you try to hold on to it or contain it, the truth cannot be contained, right? The truth cannot be contained. And so when you come into this blessing, which is this shocking revelation that will be emotional, that will be let's call it unignorable. It will be so clear, so stark, so present that there will be no option to look away. And even if you have been looking away, right? Even if you've been in these places of, it's okay, I'm good, I don't need to deal with that, right? I'm okay, I'm fine. Once this revelation comes in, you have two options. Either the truth will set you free, or the truth will set you on the path toward freedom, right? Either way, this is a great balancing for you. And so, either answer is freedom, right? Either choice is freedom. Either choice is victory. But you might have to walk through a little fire to get to the either that sense of immediate relief, or that sense of, okay, I can do this work and gain my own relief, gain my own worth and value back, right? I hope that makes sense. At any rate, pile number 2. This is going to be a challenging path. Hit subscribe. Come back and tell me how this goes for you. And again, if you're so-called, listen to pile number 1. There might be messaging in there for you, since we do have these recurrent cards here. But I want to wish you nothing but the best, nothing but blessings. Yes, big blessings to you. Like I said, let me know how it goes, right? Blessings. Always blessings. All right, pile number 3, those of you who have chosen this stone, let's get right into it. Let's find out what your blessing is right now. Like I said, we're going to choose a few cards to kind of give me an indication of what your past and current situation is and has been, and then we'll figure out what your actual blessing is, and then kind of how that's going to play out for you, where you might gain some insight into what comes next, or what the best option for you in terms of forward motion will be. So in terms of past and current energies, I definitely see that you are in the process of, I think you're in a good cycle right now. You're just looking to deepen or perhaps widen your growth. Or here's the interesting thing. Sometimes when we're in a place that feels good, we can't figure out why we have this little niggling kind of push, a nudge, like, where am I dissatisfied? I have everything I need. I've got all of my foundations. I feel like I've got everything. I feel like my mission, my work is getting me. But there's this little push, right? What is it, right? I feel great. I feel grounded. I feel happy. But something's bothering me. What is it? Well, let's find out. Pile number 3. Let's find out what is bothering you. So because we have judgment here, so I'm going to start, even before I get that next card, by saying there's something in your process or in your awareness that is creating this sense of dissatisfaction. Okay, see, that makes perfect sense. So, all right. Beautiful. So pile number 3, what is coming in as your blessing is a little bit of the urge to self-examine, right? And the key here is something in your experience is not matching up with what you've been told your experience should be, right? Exactly. So you've got the Judgment and the Hierophant. And now because you have these 2 majors sitting here, this tells me that this is going to represent a major shift in your life with this Empress card right here. So what you've been growing might not feel like what you actually wanted to plant. What you've been nurturing might not feel like those qualities that you really want to put forth. So the key to the Hierophant is self-examination, right? This is what we do. This is how we do it. This is why, right? The way that we have moved through our lives is this sense of the way we're supposed to, right? And that Knight of Swords up there comes in with an idea that says, I'm not so sure that the way that you've been moving is the way that you want to move. And there's a difference between believing the way you're supposed to move is the way you want to move, and believing the way you want to move is the way you want to move, right? And the key here is that sometimes, right, exactly. Sometimes the way that we choose to move is out of alignment, and the reason that we choose to do it is because we've been told this was the right way. This was the way we're supposed to do it. This is the structure. Here are the boxes. Just fit yourself right into that box. Guess what? That's not. That is absolutely not the way that we choose to manage our lives if we're looking for happiness, if we're looking for our own bliss, if we're looking to create our own path. We have to stop and say, okay, this is the world I have, and I understand that. It looks great from the outside, but how does it feel from the inside? That's the most important question. And if it doesn't feel good from the inside, right, then if your stability is not really there, if your foundation is not solid, then exactly what is it that you're creating from, right? You can plant seeds all day, but if you don't like the thing that's going to grow, what are you actually doing? Why are you expending that energy? If you don't witness that as a thing of value to you, then what are you doing, right? And so what happens sometimes in life is that even when things are going great and we still have this underlying current of dissatisfaction, we have to stop and say, okay, this is my experience so far. Am I satisfied with it? And if I'm not satisfied with it, what do I do? So perhaps this self-discovery is the blessing. And I know that feels like a scary thing, right? I know it feels like a scary thing to say, well, I believed that I have everything that I want. And yet I still feel this sense of there's got to be more. There's got to be something else. I have to be here for something bigger, right? Okay, let's talk about these guys. So you have the Five of Swords, the Fool, and the Queen of Swords, right? So we have a lot of ideas here, a lot of ideas. And again, this little cluster of majors in the center. So this is about stepping out in faith beyond the conflict, right? In pursuit of what is truth for you, right? The Queen of Swords, she gets a bad rap, let's be fair. You know, people want to say the Queen of Swords is cold, she's unfeeling. Well, I mean, she's just no bullshit, and we live in a bullshit world. So she definitely comes off as being unfeeling, as being a little bit less Empress and more, you know, more, I don't even know. She is the ultimate, the Queen of Swords is the ultimate antithesis to the Empress if you're looking at archetypical energy, right? Venus and Athena, they don't speak the same languages in everybody's archetypical story. But here's the deal. They're really both looking for the same thing. They're both looking to be in service to faith, right? It's just that the story that they have about faith is a different thing. And so if you're following the story someone told you about faith and it doesn't meet your experience, that's a blessing. If you're following the path someone told you to walk and it doesn't bring you joy, that's a blessing. And the way that you find that is to have the courage to move through that conflict in yourself, right? This is a self-conflict. This is, oh, this is troubling to me. I should be happy, right? I should be happy. I should love my life, but I don't. That's a conflict. What's my option? Step out in faith, right? Come back to all of the things that bring you joy. This is all the Queen of Swords ever asks. How does it feel to you? How does it feel to you? How does it feel to you? This should be the ultimate question of the Hierophant. How does it feel to you? Also the question of judgment. How does it feel to you? How does it feel to you? And we're going to pursue that no matter what. There may be a conflict around you choosing that pursuit. Here's the deal. If you go in with no expectations, if you go in choosing that you're not going to be weighted down, that you're not going to be held back, that you're going to opt for slow growth over no growth, over the status quo, I mean, that's up to you. Right? The key here is that when we have a stone, we witness it on our timeline as being the same. Right? It's the same over and over and over and over and over and over again. It doesn't move. We don't perceive it as moving. But the truth is, we just don't have a long enough timeline to appreciate the evolution of that stone. Right? If we sat here for eternity, we would watch it do some things. But we don't have that capacity. So our expectation that this is going to fall in line, right? That this eventually will bring us satisfaction, even though we know that it's not in our experience. Well, that brings us conflict. The key here is this blessing is your awareness, right? This stone, it's a place on which to build. My expectations of joy and satisfaction on the basis of someone else's boxes, on the basis of someone else's foundations, keep falling short. And the reason is because I haven't pursued my own truth, right? So your blessing, for better or for worse, pile number 3, is to really witness your own self in presence and choose where your stability is, not somebody else's, to choose where your growth is, not somebody else's, and to make sure that your commitment to your own comfort is not keeping you held back, is not keeping you weighted down, right? This fool's journey demands your divestment in all things except your own heart and soul, your own truth, right? And guess what? What do we know? The truth can always fly. The truth is always going to fly. It's never going to be held down. So if your foundation depends on another person's belief, another person's structure, or another person's box, your blessing is that you're going to witness the way that that is nonsense for you, the way that it doesn't compute anymore, the way that it doesn't feel right. So that might be a challenging blessing for you, pile number 3. However, in the long run, it's going to bring you nothing but the truth, nothing but satisfaction. Because when we move in faith, what I can tell you from personal experience is that when you make the choice to walk the path of faith, literally everything that you need and want is handed to you. It's poured into the path before you. And if that's not foundation enough, I don't know what is, right? I wish you the best on this path, pile number 3. Please hit the subscribe button so you can come back and let me know how this goes for you. And in the meantime, be blessed and take care. Have a beautiful day.